Meta commentary, season 1, episode 1. Like and subscribe. See the link in the description to get your own Tesla.
This is meta commentary because it's commentary on the meta commentary. So here we have Ben Sullins' meta commentary. Season 1, episode 1 is what we're doing the meta commentary. Season 1, episode 1 episode about. So, with that aside, what's going on here? Well, this woman was explaining that phone batteries, she's comparing phone batteries to EV batteries. So hear this.
The cold weather will kill your phone battery?
She said cold weather will kill your phone battery. And, well, both Ben Sullins, and I were confused by that. So hear what we said.
Kill your car battery.
Does that happen? Is that really a thing? I've never heard of someone complaining about their phone battery. Certainly, what's happening is, of course, that when you have an EV in a very cold temperature, the battery itself needs to maintain a certain warmth in order to function.
I did preview that. He does explain how it works, that it just preheats itself. He did a very good job, I think, explaining it and had a diagram, so that's impressive.
Well, basically, the EV batteries, as he explained, will work fine in the cold. You can have very cold temperatures, well, like 0 Fahrenheit, -10 Fahrenheit, you can even still use them. They've tested them in Alaska. I mean, they handle cold. I wouldn't want to go to like -60 and try it. But yeah, they can handle really cold temperatures. And she's like, well, you know, it's like those cell phones. It kills the battery. Okay, so hear this.
Never heard of the phone, though. That's obvious.
Yeah, her comparing it to a phone, that you can't have it in the cold, I haven't heard that either. So if it exists, it's not a typical problem. Maybe if it's super cold.
Well, was I right? Well, I looked into this a bit, and from my quick research into it, yeah, if it's like really cold and you have a phone battery, you're trying to use it, and you do not have it in a typical position like in your pocket or holding it well enough where it keeps it from getting ultra cold, that can cause issues. Like the phone might think it's the battery is dead and then shut down. So you could have some issues, and you could put it in your pocket and warm it up. But or if you were to put your phone, let's say you put it at, like, for example, 0 degrees, and you said, I'm going to charge it now while it's 0 degrees, or you charge it outside, that's not recommended. That could be a problem for the battery. So there are issues there. But since the vehicle, the Teslas in particular, and I assume most electric vehicles, will heat their battery as a safeguard from issues like that, then it's fine. And actually, interestingly, you can take a Tesla in, like, let's say -10 degrees and just start driving it, but they do recommend you precondition the battery if you're going to do things like that, but you can. So I mean, I'm sure there's a limit where it's, I mean, maybe -10 is starting to get a little risky. But, you know, that could always be looked into. But where I live, the coldest it tends to get, I've seen negatives, like -9, maybe -10, -11, but that's rare. So the other thing they say about EVs, which maybe was actually her primary point, was how the batteries can drain more. And that, this, by the way, can happen with the cell phones too. So how does that work? Well, I've driven around in, let's say, what was it, about 8 degrees or so, something particularly cold. This is all Fahrenheit. And I did have a range loss, maybe a little over 20% less than usual, which still was great. I mean, my car's got like 330 miles of range, something to that effect. So that minus 20% is still plenty of range. I can get really far and back with that level of range. So, and then if I wanted to charge it, the Tesla preconditions the battery and just charges really well. So really no issues. So maybe there's some older EVs or whatever that have a lot of issues. And I know older EVs, including some older Teslas, don't even use heat pumps. So you end up using resistive heating, and that does drain the battery. So I could see that issue. But a modern Tesla and some other modern EVs, it's just not an issue. It's just not correct. It's like she's living a half a decade, or maybe more like a whole decade ago. Something like that, 5 to 10 years ago. And that's just not the case right now. It's like if we were to say AI can do almost, can do very little. And if you're talking about when AI was just like maybe a few years ago, AI, whatever it was like back then, you've got to be accurate to the times, But you could take her advice if you were to buy an old EV. Another thing I noticed about the video is but by far the vast majority of the people complaining about EVs are females. And according to what I've read, approximately 3/4 of Tesla drivers are males, and I've not seen anything specifying a difference for other EVs, which this video does include. So unless that's the explanation, then I would say there's an interesting gender bias in how the video, either how it was put together to show it, or that the vast majority of people who make illogical complaints about EVs are women for some reason. It's something to, ponder. Okay, so anyway, that kind of wraps all that up. And good news, a Tesla can handle sub-zero temperatures. Bad news, your phone can't. So you won't be able to tweet about it, which is great because apparently we're still using 2015 talking points in 2026.
Meta commentary, like and subscribe. See the link in the description to get a free experience and support the channel.